Good evening, friends. DutyRon coming live with a update for Ed Wallace and myself and our conditions with the COVID-19. I hope everyone had a great Christmas. I know mine was good because I was home with my family, but it was shitty because of this COVID cough that I got. And nighttime's the worst. So special thank you to all of the people joining, Patreon supporters, all the well wishers. I greatly appreciate you guys. I got the studio lights turned up nice and bright so you guys can see me. There were some people saying that, well, maybe Deuteron, is not doing that great. But, all in all, there's many more people that are worse off than I am from this COVID. I've heard so many stories, but, the coughing and chest pain and things of that nature, those are trivial compared to some of the people who were in ICUs on a ventilator, and never made it out. Andy the Gamby Cabby, thank you so much for joining. Hi, Princess Michelle. Hello, Kathy. Good to see you, Frankendoll. Everyone's piling in, channel members. Mattyboy Sully. I saw my best mod jumping in here. Where is she? Dawn Marie. I got to find her. There she is. Bam. Look at me now, Mom. No hands. I'm feeling okay. Ed Wallace, on the other hand, not so good. But before I get into it, let's say hello to a couple of people. StreamYard is present for duty. Alicia B's here. Kathy Bates, of course. Kat H. Sherry Meredith. Thank you, Maui Swift. You're always here. My voice my voice is a little down, and occasionally I get that uncontrollable cough. I can't really tell when it's going to happen. It just happens. So it's kind of shitty, but North Florida, Gary, good to see you. I almost feel like, shots fired. Shots fired. Shots fired. So that's what happens with the cough. No fever, no headache, just occasional here and there headaches, but mainly the cough, congestion. And I've been taking care of that with Mucinex and various other options that my wife and so the missus has the similar situation. She's going on day 10. My son's into the double digits. He is kind of coming out of it, but he still is not feeling great. But look at Ed Wallace, who has some pre-existing, some health conditions. He fought cancer, in the past, and has autoimmune issues and various other issues. And he went to the hospital today because he was coughing up blood. So a scary, scary thing with Ed Wallace. He was coughing up blood. He went straight to the hospital like anybody should do if you're coughing up blood. And he went into his, I'm assuming, local hospital. I'm not going to give out his medical, but he went to a local hospital where they told him that there's nothing that they can do other than to give him a breathing treatment and some steroids, and then they sent him home. So he's home and he's miserable, but he's making do because Ed is NYPD strong. He's a strong detective, and he's going to fight it. He's keeping his wife isolated. He's doing the best that he can, and he wants everybody to know that he sends love and prayers to all of you guys. He really appreciates the love in the chat and in the comment section. So some hearts and prayers for Ed Wallace and everybody that's going through it, for that matter. Just your support. It means so much to us because before you know it, we're going to be back and going full force in 2022. So January comes, we're going to be, hitting the pavement running. So when you talk about coughing up blood, it's not what you guys are thinking. He's not coughing up and spewing blood everywhere. It's not a Nightmare on Elm Street. It's blood in his phlegm. When you're coughing up and stuff is coming up, it's the blood is there. So I'm sure that they monitored that condition. They looked at it at the hospital. But Ed made a comment to me which was unbelievable. Is he said that I feel like our health system has failed. So that's where Ed was at. Thank you, Billy Ryan Investigative Group. Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. Hi, Denise Meredith. She says, hi, Ron, Ed Wallace, and folks in the chat. You were sounding a lot better, Ron. Healing prayers to the affected. Yes, I am. I feel good. I feel as good can be at the night. When the nighttime comes, it gets kind of crummy. Thank you, Police Off the Cuff, for the super chat. It was great being on your show earlier. I had plans to come live, but I wasn't feeling great, so I took a nap. That's how it goes. I took a nap, and now here I am after dinner, coming on, just giving you guys a little bit of an update. Thank you for the $10, Bill, over at Police Off the Cuff. I appreciate the chat is going crazy for Ed Wallace. Let me highlight some of these. Hi, Pat. Good to see you, Camaro Pat. I know that's not your name there in the YouTube land, but that's how I know you. Impartial is putting out some medical terms. Thank you for the blessings, Joy Rybolt. Appreciate that, Joy. Hi, Marilyn. How are you, Carol? Good to see you. Hearts for Ed Wallace from Kate and Kippy. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm trying to just catch up. There's my good friend from Norway. Good to see you, Sana. Elise Holth Johnson. Good to see you. That's the best that I could do with that. Who else is here? Betty LeBlanc. Betty LeBlanc says prayers and love to Ed Wallace. Thank you. Appreciate that, Betty. So guys, COVID is no joke, but we are kicking COVID's ass. My family is on the rise. We're rising above. And, you know, as you guys know, I have that tattoo is on my forearm. It says rise above right here. So let me show it to you quick. So we are rising above. That's what we do. And that's what Ed is going to do. Ed's going to come out of this on top. But, you know, he wants everybody to know that your love and your prayers mean a lot to him. It really does. It does mean a lot to him. Hello, Jennifer Nobles from Ground Zero in Bakersfield. Good to see you, Jennifer. I saw you earlier in the chat. I'm just trying to catch up and pick up on the chat. And if anybody wants to join and maybe come on and wish Ed some, well wishes, you're more than happy to come on. I'll share the link in a few. Ed's system is failing here. Ed, the system is failing here in the UK too, says Catherine D. I don't know if Ed Wallace is well enough to even come up on the chat. I don't think so. But, you know, I did speak to him on the phone. I'm just trying to scan the chat really quick. The hospitals are getting full. I don't know about admissions, though. I don't think the admissions are what we had in June of 2020. So I don't think it is. I don't think we're anywhere near that. Good to see you, Mike, over at MC's Audio. Good to see you, Princess Michelle. Thank you for joining. Gail, always great to see you. Mattyboy Sully, hoorah, is here. So Healing Vibration says at DutyRon, Andy the Gabby Cabby has talked about your channel. Yeah, I already, thank you, Healing Vibrations. I went over there just maybe an hour ago and I left a comment. He left a beautiful message. I believe that was his son in the video for Ed Wallace. I'm going to share that with Ed. So thank you, Andy, and the whole Gabby Cabby community. You guys are awesome. Awesome sauce. So thank you for doing that video. Ed is not in the hospital. He was there. He was treated and released. He's treated and released home. So that's the good news. Ed is home. Blondie1025, good to see you. Thank you for joining. And thank you to any of the folks who have given Super Chat that I might have missed. I don't think I missed anybody, so thank you for that. Andrea, she says, yes, because coughing can be hard and break blood vessels in the lungs, and we will bleed. Yeah, thank you so much for your well wishes. I appreciate that. Sleep helps. I got 10 hours. Guys, I got 10. I want to take this hat off. I just thought that there would be a glare from my dome, so I kind of put it on, but I'm taking it off because I'm getting hot. So the hat's off. If there's any glare, I'll try to lower the key light in front of me. Just let me know. Linda, good to see you, Linda from Canada. There's one of my biggest friends and supporters from Canada. It's Linda Cormier. Good to see you, Linda. Happy. I'm glad that you're here. It's always a pleasure to see you. Boxing MMA, there he is. Gary from Ireland. Perfect. Alicia B, great to see you. Thank you, Alicia. So Ed Wallace, as we know, he's fighting the COVID. He got it stronger strain than I had, because I was knocked on my butt for a couple of days. Wednesday, as you all know, I drove myself to the hospital because I couldn't catch my breath. God, it's like in my mind. As soon as I start talking about it, I get that cough. But I couldn't catch my breath, and the uncontrollable coughing. CR Patrick, thank you for the super sticker. Appreciate that. Thank you for the love. I couldn't catch my breath, and that's what frightened me, is that the coughing was uncontrollable. I had my albuterol. I was pumping the albuterol like a crackhead, and it seemed to help, but it didn't stop the cough. That's where I got frightened. So I drove myself short distance to the hospital, and I went straight to get there to get treatment. And they sent me home. They told me that, drink lots of fluids, to take Mucinex, do the flushes. I do the Neil Med sinus flush. I don't know if anybody's familiar with Neil Med, but I use those spray bottles. I should have brought one down to show you. And it goes up one nose and then down the other. And it clears out your sinuses. But that doesn't help when it comes to the coughing, though. Let me go back to the comment. Somebody sent a comment. Please stay away from the hospitals. Yes, that was my fear. I was afraid of the hospitals, but I went. Deco Paint and Tea, good to see you. Emily, love and respect as always. Thank you. Maria, love and prayers for Ed and Ron and the family. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So there's my phone ringing, and I'll put that on vibrate. Anna says prayers for Ed. Thank you. And Becky L says praying for all fighting COVID. Amen to that. Amen, my friend. Emily, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. And Emily sends in a message of DutyRon and family, Ed Wallace, prayers and love. Thank you for that. I appreciate it, Emily. Yeah, man. This is no joke. Again, I think the vaccinated folks are faring well, but I don't know. I don't know the science. I don't have the science for it. Vitamins and zinc and all of that stuff. I'm overloading on it. I'm taking as much as I can, whatever it says, the limits are. So I'm doing that. I'm staying hydrated, drinking a lot of H2O. Thank you, Trev. Thank you, Scout Inquirer. If I missed anybody, single mama 4. Wow, this is an aggressive person right here. So I'm gonna shut that down. Hold on, 2 seconds. Shut that. Hold on, and I just spilled my water. Not much, but it's good. Of course, I'm always prepared for any type of damage. I got my little clean towel that I clean my computer screens with. I'm going to use that to soak up this water that I just knocked over. So thank you, New York Contact Tracing. That's who was calling me, by the way. New York Contact Tracing being aggressive with me. I already spoke to them. I don't know what more they need from me. I gave them my left leg. Wow. Look at that, man. That's aggressive. Wouldn't you say that's 3 calls in a row? Detective George, good to see you. I shut him down. I gave him a chance to stop calling me. I figured that they would understand if I clicked them to voicemail. Some people don't get the hint, right? So let me look back at the chat now that all this water is soaked up. Prayers for Ed Wallace. Thank you. Let me just make sure Ed didn't text me, because the last time I was live, Ed texted me, but no, he didn't. He didn't text. So yeah, that's the update. I feel good. The nighttime is really when it gets bad. My wife still has coughing at night. My son coughs a little bit during the day. He still has the sweats, no fever, but my son gets the sweats at night. He wakes up in a ball of sweat. So that's his body, I guess, sweating out the virus. And that's really what we got going on here on the DutyRon, in the DutyRon household, So yeah, that was 3 calls in a row. In other words, contact tracers, they called me on Christmas. So I answered the phone on Christmas because what was I doing? I was just sitting here twiddling my thumbs, basically. I couldn't go anywhere. I had no company, but New York contact tracers are aggressive. And if Joe Murray was here in the chat, Joe Murray would say, don't talk to them. They don't need to know anything. Hang up on them. But I gave him everything. I gave him everything that they needed. All the people who I came in contact with, yada, 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 yada. So somebody asked, am I checking my oxygen levels? Absolutely. James Carroll, both Ed and I are, I have the little pulsometer that I put on. I got my Samsung watch and we check and recheck. So yeah, we are checking everything. Andy the Gabby Cabby, he comes in with a super chat from the UK and says, have a beer on me when you're able to, my friend. I'm going to have, Andy, I'm going to have a scotch or maybe a nice vodka. I'm going to one up from the beer and I'm going to go straight to the hard liquor. How about that, Andy? I'm going to have a nice vodka. So thank you for the super chat, though. Thank you, Andy the Gabby Cabby. Everyone, check out that channel. Check him out. He does some great posts from his mobile, and he's a great guy. Thank you for that, Andy. Appreciate it. So people are asking questions. How's Joe Murray post-COVID? He's doing good, man. I think he's doing pretty good. Joey Brooklyn, as always, is driving in his car. He's the director of security. We need to get an assistant director of security. So if you want to apply for that position, go over to DutyRon.com and send in a request to become director of security, and give me your credentials before you make that request. We got to make sure you have some good credentials. Jeep Girl, she comes in with a $10 super chat and she says, praying for you, Ed, and your family. Will you redo Christmas after everyone as well? Absolutely. We already have it planned for Valentine's Day. We're going to get together with our family on February 14th. We need to give a nice solid buffer to see what happens with COVID. Don't forget, I have an elderly mother-in-law in her 90s that has COPD. So she has COPD, and before we do anything like that, we really got to make sure everyone's good. So wise old lady, she says, I've been coughing since Thanksgiving weekend. I have bronchitis. Maybe it's the Omicron. Did you get tested? That's what I would say. You should get tested. Pauline Buckles is laughing at DutyRon. So yeah, I'm going to have a vodka. There's no doubt in my mind. I'm going to have a nice vodka. So yeah, send me a message on DutyRon.com, assistant director of security, because Joey Brooklyn has been he's been lagging a little bit. He's driving way too much. I need someone who doesn't drive and is available 24/7 to be an assistant director of security. So please send in your applications. Renee Rogers, Merry Christmas, DutyRon. I'm glad to see you. Glad you're talking to the contact tracers. Yes, of course. What do you think I'm going to be, like Joe Murray, and tell them to go F themselves? This is what Joe Murray told them. Hey, I'm not going to be talking to you.
Oh, hell no.
That's what Joe Murray says today. Contact tracers call Joe Murray, and he says,
oh, hell no.
So that's what Joe Murray does. And then he'll even follow it up with a couple of gunshots. So Joe Murray, that's what he does to contact tracers. He eats them up and spits them out. Donna is throwing in a hello, handsome DutyRon. Thank you, Donna. I will take that under advisement. Rachel Williams is laughing. Let's see. Or what could happen when contact tracers call Joe Murray? They can get this.
Bueller.
They could get that. You never know what can happen with Joe Murray, because he is a tricky criminal defense attorney. He knows his rights, and he invokes his Fifth Amendment when it comes to contact tracers. He just gives them the old,
oh, hell no.
That's what he gives them. All right. So Road Trip Mom says, I see you haven't lost your sense of humor. I got a burst of energy and I got to let it out because I can only stay live for another 10 minutes. 30 minutes is my limit on this live stream. But thank you to everybody for the messages to dutyron.com, the comments down below in the comment section. Hey, let me know by putting a 1 in the chat if you had a good Christmas holiday, and let me know if you didn't. If you were home alone, put a 2. I want to see how many people were alone, how many people might be sick. If you were sick or home alone, number 2. If you had a good time and you were able to sneak in a family visit, put a 1. Let's see how many people got a chance to be and have somewhat of a normal Christmas. I like to just see. Looks like there's a lot of number 2s and a 1.5 from Jeep Girl. There she is. She put a 1.5, a 0.5 actually. It's a good mix. Donna's got a number 2. Sunshine, number 2. 3 Rosebuds, number 2. Kathy M, number 2. We got a number 1 from CR Patrick. I'm glad you got to see your family. John Bear got to see sort of maybe an annoying group of family members. Rebecca, she got to see the fam. Excellent. Trevor said I put in a 1. But my family is dysfunctional, very dysfunctional. Wasn't just dysfunctional. Emily with a 1.5. Catherine says number 2, but I'm not sick. I'm glad you're not sick. Ravenkind, 1.5. I guess, there's a good mix. Rachel, the question was, put a 1 in the chat if you got to see your family on a somewhat normal Christmas, maybe with social distancing, with masking. Number 2, if you're home alone or sick, or home alone and sick. Number 2, all of the above. Anything other than number 1 with being with your family. Just a quick. I like to look back at the chat, and because I can't really see as it's happening, so I like to look back. So let me hit you guys with a little bit of a siren. Those are my 2 favorite sirens right there. Let me know which one you like. Do you like number 1 or number 2? 2 is a little loud on my ears. So let me get back so I could see a lot of number 1s and 2s. So it looks like everybody had we have a fair mix of people who got to see their family and who maybe, were not able to see the family. So let me go back and say hi to the members. Lourdes G, thank you for becoming a member, Lourdes. I appreciate that. And then we have a $20 super chat that came in. And I want to say hi and thank you to Jen. There she is. That's a great head of hair from behind. Jen sends in a $20 super chat. I don't know. I guess that's a super sticker, or it's a super chat with no message. All right. So I'll look back and see what everybody likes. Is it number 1 or number 2? 2 is tough on my ear. Like that's like my ringing, my tinnitus in my ear, and the number 2 is kind of tough on it. But we'll see how that goes. We'll figure it out. Deco Paint and Tea likes number 2. No pun intended. She doesn't mean she likes going to make number 2. That means that she likes to hear number 2. But a number 2 every once in a while is not too bad.
Oh, hell no.
All right. That was my comedy for a bleak kind of live stream. Again, prayers and strength for Ed Wallace. I'll be checking in with him every day. He's got a whole host of things, breathing issues. The nighttime, he agrees, is really one of the worst parts of the night, the time with this COVID. And he just feels really let down by the healthcare system here in America. Ed thought that he was, and he argued that he was a candidate for the what am I thinking about? The antibodies. Omicronal antibodies, whatever it is, that infusion is what Ed felt that and I thought I would get it too. But the explanation from the doctor to me was that your body is fighting COVID and you are vaccinated. So because you're vaccinated, you are going to produce your own natural antibodies, and your body's going to fight the virus, and it's going to attack it with more antibodies than the virus is producing and attaching itself to you. And that's the way it was explained to me in layman's terms. And he said most people vaccinated. Now he said most. What happens to the people who don't produce them quick enough and the virus takes over Those are the people who get hospitalized and that wind up in ICUs. And there are still people going into ICUs and into hospitals. It's just not what we saw in the initial surge. So that's how it was explained to me. And again, I'm getting stronger each day that goes on. And I feel like I did definitely get the minor version of this, although the first 3 or 4 days, it kicked my ass. It really did kick my ass. But, I told Bill today, the more I talk, the more it takes the wind out of me. It takes the strength out of me. And I will probably suffer with coughing. So I'm going to wrap it up here. I promised that I would have 30 minutes. So for the last 5 minutes, I'm going to invite anybody that wants to come up and give positive vibes or prayers or anything that they want to say to Ed Wallace. And there it is. It's in the chat. So I just put it in there. Jennifer, thank you for joining. That was earlier. The chat's not moving. Why is it? Oh, no, that wasn't earlier. There she is. She's saying hi to Purple Faith. I was on with her on TikTok last night. So there's the link. Let me see if I can, hold on a second. I just timed somebody out for 300 seconds for no good reason because I touched the phone with my finger. So I'm sorry about that. Hold on a second. That was a mistake. Trying to, Madeline Jimenez, hold on. Why can't I pin that? Anyways, all right, Mattyboy Sully, here he is. Matty, how are you, Mattyboy?
Yo, what's going on?
How are you, brother?
I'm all right. How you feeling, brother?
Yeah, I'm okay. Thank you for checking in before I went live. I appreciate the messages and all the great stuff that you guys do. But Ed Wallace needs us, man. He needs the support. And I know that he sees it. So when you guys leave comments or whatever you say, Ed watches all these replays. So,
well, Eddie, buddy, stay in the fight. Do what you need to do, and we got your back.
That is Mattyboy Sully. Thank you, man. How was your Christmas? Did you get to see fam?
Some fam, they some needed to get tested, didn't get tested. So my wife was, she was all iffy. So she was like, love yous, but not.
Yeah. But you got to listen to the missus. They make more sense than we do sometimes. Healing Vibrations sends in a message. I got to get that because that was a good one. DutyRon and Ed Wallace. Ed Wallace is handsome, and prayers going up for both of you. Thank you, Healing Vibrations. Matt, you got to listen to the ladies. They make more sense than we do, and we know that through trial and error, right? But
this is true.
I got to ask you, and I would be remiss if I didn't ask you. Did you deliver gifts to all the people last night? Because you got Santa Claus beard going on. Does anybody in the chat see that Santa Claus beard?
Hey, do you know how long it takes me? Like a good look, ho ho ho, mother.
Hold on,
but no, it takes a long time for this to grow. There you go.
Matty looks like Santa, although it's a blurry picture for me because you're out in the mobile. But you look great.
Yep.
And I tell you,
well, you see, my son put the lights in the car.
I love it.
He got lights in the car.
Maybe next year.
I got reindeer ears on my freaking truck.
Maybe next year we could do a crime time with DutyRon and Ed Wallace Christmas party, and you could be the Santa. What do you think, Matty?
Hey, I had a Santa suit on yesterday.
Well, that is perfect. I'll feed you, and I'll give you booze, Jack Daniels, and food.
There you go. I'm in.
Okay. Sounds like a winner to me, Matt. Thank you for calling in, and I appreciate it. There's like 2 more people waiting, so I just wanted to.
All right, brother.
Thank you, Matty boy. Love you, man.
Love you, man. Be good.
Peace. So there he goes. That's Matty, aka Santa Claus. He is. Lorna from the UK says it's Santa Claus. Yeah, that's Matt Sully. He's freaking awesome. His dad, God rest his soul, was an NYPD captain. So his dad served in Brooklyn North. So really, really great stuff. I have a tremendous amount of respect for his family, so they're part of my family. So it is what it is. And Mattyboy is one of the fam. So anyways, I had 2 people, they dropped off. I guess nobody else wants to come up, but I appreciate everybody having the prayers and the positive vibes and the well wishes for myself, for Ed and for everybody and anybody that's going through the gigs right now. This is no joke. It's spreading like wildfire. And you know what? If you think that it's not real, then it may take, God forbid, you being infected for you to say, wait a minute, this is some serious stuff. So don't take this lightly. You know, I know in the beginning, hold on a second. In the beginning, I kind of brushed it off, and I thought, that basically, when this all first started, I was like, we're going to get through this. It's going to be all right. And then I started seeing, 800 people a day dying in New York alone. We had that for almost 10 days, 800 people a day dying. That is freaking staggering numbers. That's enough to really shake you. When we saw refrigerated tractor trailer trucks backing up at city hospitals and just loading bodies in there. That was no joke. So people that take this still to fast forward to January 2022, December 2021 as a joke, I don't have time for that. I will block and just move on. I won't even listen to it. If you want to talk that garbage, then you could just talk that garbage somewhere else. I'm not going to allow it on my channel. So anyways, thank you, Mark. Appreciate the messages in the comments. Nancy Eileen, there she is. My brother might be getting something, has bad headache, and had COVID a year ago. I'm hoping that he doesn't. And I'm hoping that if God forbid he does have it, it'll be minor, minor. So Mark is here from Florida. Great to see you, Mark. Thank you. Happy holidays, says Sam. I see a lot of great faces, and I want to just say, thank you to the prayers and the messages, the emails sent into dutyron.com. You guys are freaking awesome. Ed Wallace and I greatly appreciate it. He's fighting hard. But he's going to be okay. I can tell you that right now. And I'll give you updates in Discord and on any kind of social media that I can give you updates for. I can't go live every day giving you updates, but again, I'll give you those updates as I get them. 32 minutes. I got to run. I got to jump out of here. I appreciate each and every one of you for coming in and hanging out. Again, this is no joke. This is not a joke. My email is posted down below in the comment section, in the description. And you could go, Mermaid, you can go to the DutyRon.com. Thank you for the super chat, by the way. Go to DutyRon.com, and then there's a message section there. Just send me a message there. That's the easiest way. Where is she? RDNAC says, you're looking good, DutyRon. Thank you. The lights and the cameras do me justice. So thank you for that. Tam, I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm about all talked out right now. I don't think I can talk anymore. My throat's starting to hurt me. So I got to run. I'll just let you listen to what it sounds like when I breathe in. I have a sound noise gate that cuts it off, but it's kind of wheezy when I breathe in deep. So I got to run. Guys, a lot of love and respect from my house to yours. Let me just look at quickly the chat. Timmy Acosta's here. Tim Acosta, this guy right here, is the 100% responsible for hooking me and Ed up together. So Tim Acosta, we have him to thank for all the great guests that Ed Wallace brings on and all the great information that Ed Wallace brings to Crime Time with DutyRon. So there's my good friend Timmy Acosta, retired NYPD first grade detective. Him and his wife, great people, great family. I have my 9/11, all of my goodies from Tim. Here's my mouse pad. It says, and this is courtesy of Timmy Acosta, in God we trust, all others we polygraph. Thank you, Tim, for this great mouse pad. It's right here on my desk, and I use it all the time. So all else we polygraph. All right, guys, I'll see you on the next one. Thank you so much for joining. God bless the world. God bless the United States of America. And God bless each and every one of us here in the chat and all victims of crime across the globe and their families. Remember, around the holidays and around this time of year, people going through it. People have tough times. Reach out to your family, reach out to your loved ones, and let them know you love them. Talk to them, say hello. It means a lot. And anyone that's struggling, you know you can contact me on dutyron.com. Thank you to the replay viewers, the super chatters, the well wishers. I know who you guys are, and I know I know that you guys love and care for us. So thank you. I'm winded. I gotta go. I love yous. See you soon. Peace. I purposely didn't end it because I want to send a special message to my good friend, Ed Wallace. Ed, you mean the world to me. You mean the world to all of us. This is for you, brother. Get better soon. Get well. We're all fighting for you. We love you. We need you. This world is a better place with you here. So thank you, Ed. Fight the good fight, and we will see you when you come back. I can't wait. I love you, brother. Peace.